Hi everyone, welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler, and this is going to be our season ender.
Yep.
You know, maybe we'll try to do one during the draft or leading up to the draft or after the combine and things like that.
Bowl too, maybe.
But this is the second part of our off-season look, and we're going to talk about free agency and some of the places the Packers have to make some changes. I'm going to read off a list of prominent free agents that the Packers have. Sam Shields, B.J. Raji, James Jones, Andrew Corliss, Mike Neal, Johnny Jolly, James Starks, Evan Dietrich Smith, John Kuhn, Jermichael Finley, Marshall Newhouse, Matt Flynn, Ryan Pickett, C.J. Wilson, Seneca Wallace. I'm tired already from going through all those guys.
Yeah.
Let's go through a list, and now you have to put on your general manager cap.
Okay.
You have to manage a salary cap here. You can't keep all of these guys.
Right.
Which of these guys do you keep? All right.
Sam Shields for sure.
I'm going to go through the list and you tell me whether you keep him or not. Sam Shields.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely.
B.J. Raji.
No.
Okay.
No.
James Jones.
Yes.
Andrew Corliss. It's a tough one, huh?
Yeah. I'm going to say yes for now.
Okay. Mike Neal.
No. No.
Johnny Jolly.
No.
Okay. James Starks.
Yes.
Ah. Evan Dietrich Smith.
Yes.
John Kuhn.
No.
Jermichael Finley.
Nope.
Marshall Newhouse.
No.
Matt Flynn.
No.
Ryan Pickett.
No.
C.J. Wilson.
Yes.
Seneca Wallace.
No.
Well, you made some good, tough decisions there. I was surprised. Usually you want to keep everybody.
I do want to keep
everybody. I'm impressed. You made some good, tough decisions.
Because it's about the impact of the guys. Because it's about winning Super Bowls. You can't say that publicly in the media, but behind closed doors, because I will put pressure on the coach. Can this guy help me win a Super Bowl? And what's their role? Because I'm going to have to make sure the salary fits. But not only that, I'm going to be willing to talk to these guys. I can't afford to pay what other teams are paying. But if you have a pedigree here, we brought you in, especially if you're a draft pick, you know, I lean towards want to keep you and keep the development going. But some of these guys are going to lose to other teams. They're going to overpay them.
Right, right.
You know? But with the Rodgers and Matthews' salary, then Morgan Burnett, you know, it's a pecking order in there. But you got to have a cover corner. So my first guy would try to work out with Sam Shields, but Sam Shields has me by the neck here because he was always put on the best receiver.
Right.
That's a stress level that has to be paid for, and it's something worth for that.
I think we agree on this. I think Sam Shields has to be resigned. I don't think you give up good cornerbacks ever because you can't count on guys not being.
He's earned his right.
He has. He came from nowhere. Now you have to worry a little bit, I would think, about a guy who's fought, scratched, and he finally gets there, and then is he satisfied? You know, I mean, he finally gets his money. You know, it kind of happened with Antonio Freeman to a degree. You know, it's happened with other guys. You know, is that going to happen with Sam Shields? I don't know. I don't think we know that. You know, he's worked hard. He's earned every dime he's gotten.
When they pay you for what you did in the past, not for what you're going to do. But I will say this: when I say he's earned the time, he didn't get a big bonus when he came out.
Right.
Undrafted.
Oh, no question.
But if I'm the Packers, I also saved him. You know, I went out and got you when no one wanted you.
Right, and gave you a chance.
And gave you a chance. So there's a little loyalty on both sides. That's why I thought it was going to be an extension. Now this could drag out for a while.
They may have to put the franchise tag on him, but
just to buy you some time.
To me, that's their number one priority. No, Raji's an interesting.
Was those reports true that he turned down a reported amount? Oh, you don't know?
I believe so. Yeah. And
that would lead me to believe he just wants out of this system.
I think that's part of negotiation, you know. So would you take $8 million per year?
Yeah.
No, we're going to settle for more. You know, we're going to get more than that. Yeah, I think that's the kind of stuff that goes on.
But $8 million for 17 tackles, you're not getting much in this defense.
Yeah.
He should have jumped all over that.
But we also know that you got to have a big guy in this defense.
No question.
We know Ryan Pickett's getting older, and
no question.
you know, I was asked these same questions yesterday last week, on a radio show, and I said yes to Ryan Pickett, but I'm rethinking that. I think you're right. I don't think he comes back. I think they decide they go younger there and spend their money where in other places. But Raji, that's a tough call. Big man, athletic. Can you lit a defensive winner? How are you going to replace that? Even if he's not exactly what you wanted last year, he's a big body with a lot of talent, and he could get better,
Because I think some teams going to overpay him, or they could sign Sam Shields and put the franchise tag on Roger to give you time and then trade him. I think they should just trade him outright, sign and trade with somebody to a 4-3 scheme. Because in this defense, Tom, you don't need a Pro Bowler. You just need a guy to understand, I got to tie up these guards and tackles and centers so Brad Jones and A.J. Hawk can make the tackles. And they got to get height. They got to get some guys, some 6'4", 6'5" guys, well over 300 pounds.
They have to get some true 5 techniques, which, like the Steelers had Brett Kiesel and, Anthony Smith, or I always forget his name. Anyway, and Casey Hampton, big guy.
Those kind of guys.
Dayton Jones is that guy. They think he's going to develop into a 5 technique, but they need more of those guys. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a tough call. James Jones, I agree with you on that one. I think he's really important to as much to the receiving corps as is to the locker room. I think he's a good guy in the locker room, and I think he's really, he's a guy who, you can count on, and he also is a stand-up guy. Yeah. Doesn't make excuses. That's good for receivers. Absolutely. Too often you have a lot of divas and stuff,
because a few years ago he had some drop problems. He had a fumble in the Chicago game three years ago. But last, a couple years ago he led the league in touchdowns.
Yeah, he signed kind of a lousy deal. He got humbled in free agency, came back and worked its tail off, and then had a better year. So there's value in that kind of guy.
Yeah, but I'd like to keep 18, 87, 89 together as much as possible, especially when I've got so much invested in the quarterback. He has to throw to somebody.
Right.
So James Jones, I would definitely try to work out a deal with him.
Most of these guys that you're talking about are offensive players, which means they've got to really start over on defense. Or not start over, but really address defense.
I used to work on Twitter at Tom Silverstein at Leap 36. I use on Twitter, they need to retool the defense.
Right.
So once they do coaching evaluation, Tom, if we're going to definitely keep Capers, okay, listen, a lot of guys are going to leave on free agent. We're going to have to bring guys in that fits the system. I think we'll be a better defense. It may be some names that people don't even, who is this guy? But he fits. And now I can run my whole entire game plan and feel good as a defense. Because nobody can name me 5 or 6 guys on Carolina's defense. You can't name me 5 or 6 guys, or maybe 7 guys on Seattle's defense, or even San Francisco. They get guys to fit, and then you can just cut it loose. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I think you have to have guys you have to have a couple guys who've run that defense and know that defense, like inside out. And so, a safety, while maybe he's not as athletic as M.D. Jennings or Richardson or whatever, but he knows where to be, and he knows how to get Morgan Burnett to the right spot. Maybe that's what you have to look for, is some guys who've played, veterans who've played 3-4 defense.
I think Morgan Burnett, real quick, a little biased, needs a mentor at safety. Like I was to Darren Sharp. You go make all the plays, I'll line everybody up, as was Eugene Robinson was to me. Now he can flourish. I think it makes him think too much, because the play I saw when he came from nowhere against Chicago and broke that pass
Beautiful play.
That was a touchdown.
Yeah.
But he came from nowhere to do it. I want to see that all 16 games.
But then you see the play where he bites on the inside tight end route and lets Alshon Jeffrey run on a 2-man coverage. That's as basic a play as there is, right?
And he has a coach that's played the game, Darren Perry. Darren's played back in my era. He knows safety, but he needs a mentor. I mean, a mentor or a young athletic guy with him. And I'm not necessarily it's the kid Bird from Buffalo, but he need an optimistic guy out there that can help raise his level of game.
Yeah, I think we're talking about a mid-range free agent who, you know, his time is up in Baltimore or Pittsburgh or New England or one of these teams that plays 3-4, and this is the guy, you know, and you can get him at a reasonable price.
I agree, and make them friends and they grow together, and I think that's what it is. See, people listen to this, we've fixed the Packers' problem.
Wow.
We just don't have any money.
To us,
we don't have any money to do the contract.
More often they do it.
But it's a very good point, because I think, if real quick with the draft, Tom, to me, last year I thought one of the top positions was safety. McCarthy chose not to do that because he felt like
Thompson,
MD
really.
Well, Thompson too. Felt like MD Jennings, McMillan, who they cut, these guys have played a lot.
Yeah.
And they
invested a lot into
Absolutely.
them. And so they didn't want to start over. Now they have to start over,
I think the first round pick, which it wouldn't happen, has to be a safety.
And it could be. It could be. The guy from Alabama could be there.
It's the only position I see that's a glaring need, that if you plug a guy in there that can fly around, that improves your defense maybe 10 spots.
Imagine if they had gotten Eric Reed from
LSU. Man. Yeah.
You know how much he would have added? You know, San Francisco went up and got him. He fit their defense. Big, physical,
That's why they let Deshaun Golson go.
Right.
You didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
That kid's a player.
And they jumped up. So you have to get guys who fit.
So you're thinking they want to go up and get Ha-Ha?
He may fall to them.
Yeah.
You never know. And I don't know how good he's going to be, but I haven't studied the college
we don't know.
guys yet.
I'm going to the Senior Bowl. I'll get back. Actually, I'm going with Tyler Dunn. I hope he's driving. But my thing is this real quick. Ted Thompson has moved up before. Moved up to get Morgan Burnett. Moved up to get Matthews. So he will move up. You know, that's no question. But a safe pick like A.J. Hawk at number 5, I mean, it falls in your lap. A safe pick like B.J. Raja at number 9. But this could be the year that they say, it's a guy we like. If he gets close, we will go up and do that. So
I think you're dreaming.
I know, but
I think you're you know, putting your hopes in Ted Thompson's brain, and then it's not going to happen.
But look at what he did with Lacey. It was brilliant. Moved back a couple, and still got Lacey.
I think that was luck.
Luck goes into everything. But I get Ted Thompson being patient. No one's going to spend a first-round draft pick on him. Let's pick up a couple picks, move back, and we still got our guy.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out great for him.
It's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. He didn't know Aaron Rodgers was going to be there at 24.
Right.
But you got to have the know-how to, I'm going to take him, although I got a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Okay. One other guy I want to talk about before we, you know, head out. Actually, there's a couple, but Evan Dietrich Smith, you said yes.
Very important to me. Very
okay.
important.
It's going to cost a lot of money to sign a center.
He may be one guy on that I'm going to overpay because of the development, protection, and I want to keep him with Rodgers. I don't want to give Rodgers somebody else new.
I just wonder, you know, you've got J.C. Tretter. You could.
But he doesn't have the pedigree. Hasn't played enough.
No, he hasn't played enough.
And Andrew D. Smith, EDS, isn't big enough. I get that. But for what he brings to that offensive line is stability.
Smart.
To me, that's worth maybe a little bit of overpaying.
Right. Okay.
Or more incentives.
I think we both agree that Jermichael Finley's not coming back.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think the Packers will clear him on that injury.
Based on Nick Collins?
Yeah, based on Nick Collins.
Well, Richardson went through a neck
But Richardson had it
it's a little different, but
had the fracture or had the disc at a lower spot.
Yep.
C3, C4 is sort of the limit that the Packers have. They won't clear anybody there.
Yeah.
Richardson's was C5, C6, which is in a less dangerous place down your neck.
Well, they let Aaron Rodgers play. He was still hurt.
Yeah, but totally different injury. So.
Yeah, I don't think. But if he's cleared somewhere else, I can.
He's going to play. He's going to play somewhere else.
Yeah,
someone's
going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, someone might pay him.
I've heard San Diego would love to have him, you know, if Gates doesn't come back. But real quick, Nick Collins, think about maybe coming back next year. Good idea, bad idea?
Well, if he can get cleared, but he's not going to get cleared by the Packers.
No, I'm just saying in general.
You know, would a team clear him? I don't know. Why haven't they cleared him to this point?
Well, he wanted to wait. I think he'll be in a position now. He's 100%. He's ready to play. He's in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
If you're a team like Chicago or Detroit, you've seen him.
I don't know if you're
bring
willing
him
to
in.
take that risk, so we'll see about that.
Just like McCarthy said, everybody's a risk, and I agree with him.
Okay. Well, thanks. It's been a great season. We've solved all the problems for next season.
Absolutely, as we
And
always do.
before you know it, it'll be August, and we'll be getting ready to do our first of the season. But stay tuned with us during the off season. We'll try to get a couple of videos in and talking about the draft and everything else.
Yeah, and a big shout out and thanks to Mike Davis who afforded us to do this. And I also want to
And
thank
our producer, Bill
Schultz.
Schultz.
Without Bill, there's no way this pretty face can be up every week.
Yeah, man.
And I really
A
want
lot
to
of
thank
makeup.
I really want to thank Bill because you guys don't know this, but we really move him around these times, and he makes it available for us, and I really appreciate that. Thanks to Steel Wind, one of my big sponsors, Classic Lanes. Stay tuned. We got a lot of bowling things going on. That's Classic Lanes in Greenfield. And Doing the Most Good, the Salvation Army. Thank them for being a loyal sponsor, and really appreciate it.
Okay. Have a good off season.